Evening, everybody. How are you today? I want to first thank everybody for coming to our meeting for the Big Idea Group, the BIG. This is our first one for the season, and we have one of our regular and absolutely most important speakers that's going to be speaking tonight. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to just talk about what we want to do, what we want to be able to accomplish. And one of the things I want everybody to be aware of is as we go month to month with different topics from speakers, we will also be having discussion groups in order to focus on some of the things that are going to be instrumental for young entrepreneurs and startups to be able to start taking into consideration as you start thinking about how you build a business. And in many cases, a lot of times people think of a business to mean that you're trying to be Bill Gates. There's nothing wrong with having that dream, but you're going to have to start by building a solid foundation. As much as we might like to think that, people talk about how Bill Gates started Microsoft in his garage. But guess what? When he left that garage, he had a formal business plan, I can assure you. He did not go from his garage to being one of the largest companies in the world just by winging it. That's just not how it happens. So what we try to do at the Big Idea Group is we try to make sure that we focus on the fundamentals, the things that everybody needs to be aware of. And as you move through the program, you'll start to get different understandings, different ideas on how these different topics apply to your business. So I'm going to use that as a segue into talking about Allen and his role. Allen's role at Drexel University is now I'm going to mess it up because I'm not going to call you a director, it's senior director, right?
Executive director.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Here we go. Executive Director of Procurement Services at Drexel University. And in his role, and what he has the opportunity to do is he's looking to find ways to bring minorities into the Drexel procurement system, meaning how do you sell toilet paper to Drexel University? How do you sell copy paper to Drexel University? How do you sell paper cups, chairs, desks? All of these things have to go through a process that Allen will be talking about today. Believe it or not, he and we work in concert with each other, meaning that we have a relationship where if you want to do business with Drexel University, and I'm not going to limit it to Drexel, I'm going to include Temple University, University of Penn, Villanova University. Who else can I add to that group, Allen?
The University of Pennsylvania. You can add St. Joseph University. There's a lot of anchors here. CHOP.
Yep.
Yep.
And those are just the universities. But then the same format and what you want to be able to do also applies to how you do business with the city of Philadelphia. And so when we talk about how you establish a business and what things you need to take into consideration, Alan's going to give you some foresight into that today. So I want everybody to take some notes. And once he finishes up, we're going to have a question and answer period. And I want to kind of get a chance to know some of you as we move forward. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Allen Riddick, Executive Director, Procurement Services at Drexel University.
Thank you, Kevin. Good evening, everyone. There's nothing better than being amongst a Zoom call of entrepreneurs after 5 p.m., which lets me know that there's a drive somewhere inside of you that is eager to win. And so my background outside of Drexel starts from working with a family business and understanding the challenges that it is in regards to funding everything from payroll, funding everything from just funding yourself. as a entrepreneur. So I get it. And I've been blessed by the creator above to really be able to find a career where I can be able to kind of sit in a room and find all of the hints and details to help my small businesses and minority owned businesses and diverse businesses get access to opportunity. And so that is what my career is all about. And so today I'll go with you a presentation that I created. But I really encourage you guys to really ask questions throughout this presentation. If there's any, the idea is for all of you guys as businesses to obtain contracts and to obtain business. And I don't want to be taking your time up after 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. We're here all to help you guys understand how to get better access to opportunity, and particularly to procurement opportunity and contracts. So these are some of the tips, the tricks, and also just, I would say, the overall best practices that not just myself have seen, but other stakeholders that sit in my position, particularly as the gatekeeper. So my role at Drexel, I'm the executive director of supplier inclusion. So my role is to make sure that diverse businesses like you, whether you're women owned, whether you're minority owned, veteran owned, LGBTQ owned, whether or small business, to make sure that you guys receive equal and open access to opportunity. So we're going to see today some of the best practices, some of the tips and tricks in regards to helping your business really be able to, I would say, put itself out there in a capacity to achieve and have business success. So Kev, let me just go ahead and share my screen here, and we can get this party started. Kevin, can you see my screen? Do you see my PowerPoint presentation?
Smooth leaf L.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you can. Hey, Kevin, you're on mute. So you told me yes, but I couldn't hear you.
Yes.
There we go. No worries. So, let's kind of start off, really where we're at. Tips for working with anchor institutions. So an anchor institution, you may hear this, you may see this in the Inquirer magazine. If you don't know what an anchor institution is, this is what it is. It's a university, hospital, or any type of organization that plays a vital role in our local community and economy. And so one thing that we all have to remember, that Philadelphia is a unique city. Although we're a great city and we have our own kind of unique problems with us, we're not perfect. We are a unique city in the fact that we have the most hospitals and universities per square mile than any other city in the world.
Okay.
So many people don't know that you're not going to find a Hahnemann, or a Towers.
We have no Hahnemann no more.
I'm sorry, that was wrong to say, but a Towers. You're not going to find a CHOP. You're not going to find a University of Penn hospital from a per square mile radius, except for the city of Philadelphia. So that's how we are unique. And each of these organizations, including Drexel, buy in a certain process. And this is what's important for you guys to understand as business owners, is that organizations as a whole, and when I talk about anchor institutions, this also extends out to corporate institutions as well, have a utilization plan. And so with that utilization plan, it is important to understand that diverse or large organizations are looking to spend dollars with diverse businesses. So you'll see that many RFPs today require a plan to involve diversity spend. That's where you guys as business owners fit into play. Majority of big businesses and corporations are not classified as diverse entities. And as a result, a diverse partnership is needed to able to connect all the dots together. So the biggest business of all is the federal government. And here's a secret that I want to kind of talk to you guys about. The federal government is the biggest business, and I'm sure that all you guys kind of agree on this here. It's the biggest corporation or business at all. Every major corporation there's a lot that does business with the federal government has a responsibility, and this is outside of your Drexels and your UPenns and organizations. Every corporation, a major corporation, has a responsibility and a to have what's called a subcontracting or a contracting plan if they're doing business with the federal government. So what diverse businesses tend to not know is that by being certified, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but by being certified, we actually put ourselves as an advantage to be able to be a part of those programs to the corporations that are looking for subcontractors so they can fulfill their government goals. So today, what we'll talk about are the keys to success. And one thing that I don't want to kind of get away from is really kind of, outside of being a diverse business, you also have to be a qualified and you have to be a subject matter expert in your own business. That is the first part of this whole process, is being qualified and being good at what you do. But the keys to success are really aligning yourselves to the customer's needs. So understanding and getting out of the mindset to say, hey, listen, this is what I do. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm trying to make money with. You have to really align yourself to an organization's needs. Second part of that is identifying and communicating properly your capacity, your capability. What can your business really do? Being able to really help an organization understand. And that can be through a lot of different ways. It can be, via email, it can be in person, it can be through a presentation, it can be through a lot of pitch and presents in regards to getting to a point where an organization really understands your capabilities and capacity. Third point of all is your proven track record. Now, this is a point where, you only have a proven track record unless you're given an opportunity. But if you've been doing something and been doing it well, you have to document it. If you've already had customers in a certain space, you have to document that, and to help a larger organization understand that there's no risk into doing business with you because you've done it before. And one of the most important areas is operational efficiency. How efficient are you in your business? How good are you in regards to running and facing challenges and defeating those particular challenges, so your customers don't see any type of fall or neglect in service level. So the next part that I want to talk about is really a very important part, which is making yourself different. How do you differentiate yourself? So part of the process that a lot of small businesses fail is they don't really analyze their competition. sometimes we see ourselves as small businesses and we say, you know what, I do this well. And the money's out there, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. And we just think totally towards that. You have to analyze your competition. You also have to determine what sets you apart as a business. And being able to clearly explain what sets you apart helps the potential customer understand what makes you unique. Now, in some areas in business, there may be no type of differentiator in regards to there may be no way in which your business is different. Sometimes, you know, if you sell office supplies or if you sell promotional products, you sell it. Promotional products are promotional products. You still got to invent one. You have to be able to make and explain how your business is different. One of the biggest other areas too is understanding as business owners. If someone is purchasing from someone and has been buying from them from a while, if they're going to change their mind and buy business from you, their sourcing decision is only based on your unique capability. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Their sourcing decision is only based on your unique capability. So you really have to be different. You have to understand that although you provide a product or service, if an organization is already purchasing that service, you have to be able to clarify and explain and be able to prove that your business is able to meet and exceed their expectation. So next, you know, we're talking about capabilities and capacity. And I don't want to bore you guys today because, but I do want you guys to be able to kind of grab and to understand what to kind of grab from what I'm saying today. These are the elements that I often see small businesses come to the table when they finally get an opportunity and fail because they don't understand these true elements. One of them is capabilities and capacity. If you're looking to do business with a large organization like a Drexel or a large organization that happens to be a Fortune 500 company, you have to understand and be able to kind of communicate what your company does and how you're unique. So the key things that a lot of businesses have success with in regards to that, or businesses that do well, is you got to be able to talk about your history organically. You got to be able to talk about what makes you unique. What are your core areas of business? What are the unique areas that make you stand out from everyone else? If you do something different, you have to be able to talk about that. And you have to be able to talk about that well. You have to be able to communicate the areas in which you're strong and be able to do that in a capacity where you can almost kind of put together an elevator pitch, and where you can, in a sense, help sell your business. Capacity. Large organizations' biggest fear is capacity. And so making a large organization feel comfortable about in regards to how to what you can do and how you can service them. What are your recovery plans? If the all-ish happens, how do you recover from it? Having a disaster recovery plan, little simple things that you can talk about during your pitch helps an organization understand that you are already at a level in which they're able and ready to and willing to do business with. So one of the things that a lot of small businesses fail in is in regards to a capability statement. I consider a capability statement almost very similar to a business resume. having a capability statement allows you the ability to communicate your strengths, communicate all of your accomplishments as a business owner, and get it out in a format where you have a one-page document that expresses everything that your business does, your accomplishments, and what you do well. So a capability statement, I would say, is a requirement for all businesses. Whether you do business with anchor institutions or not, you must have a one-page document that is your, almost in a sense, your business resume. And the key pieces of information on there we'll go over, but you can look at this chart here and you'll see that you know information such as a company name, address, website, contact information, your core competencies, past performance, company data, your certifications. All these are important information that need to be passed on through a capability statement. So of course, a capability statement will showcase your greatness and what makes you unique, but it should also simplify things for your customer, whether it's a customer, whether it's a procurement officer, or any type of company that you're going after, but it should simplify what they're looking for and how they should engage with you. So you shouldn't give someone a piece of paper and make it more complicated in regards to what you do. The object of a capability statement is to make things simpler, where a person can easily understand what your business does and how they can do business with you. So overall, you know, I would say one of the things that I've been saying for a while is when you think about a capability statement, look at it as a document that is almost a snapshot of your company's strengths and experience, but on one page. And I can guarantee you, if you do business with any organization that is a big group, this is their expectation. And so buyers or people who or like organizations like Drexel will hire, we're looking for, before we engage with a business, we want to make sure that they have a capability statement, because that lets us know that that organization is doing its due diligence and is a trustworthy organization. So spending the time to create a one-page document that explains your business's service and offerings is essential. Next, we're going to talk about website. And I'm sure all you guys are familiar about the importance of a website. This is the digital media age, but I just have to go over this. One, a website is important because it displays the important information about your company. It explains who you are and what you do. It should promote your key products or services. If you happen to be a company that is doing e-commerce, make sure that your e-commerce is working. If you're asking people to buy from your website and it's not a simplistic structure, that's a problem. And that'll cause you more harm than good. Your website should convey professionalism and confidence and capabilities. It should also explain how to get in touch with you. So one of the gifts and curses about, you know, really owning a small business is that your time is going to be taken up, and you're going to be aware of many hats. And so sometimes that customer service line, when they say contact, that number might be your number directly. That's okay. That's part of the process. But making sure that your customers can connect with you is really more important, particularly at an entry-level stage. Here's an area that also really gets missed a lot, which is expertise. And, you know, I think a lot of small businesses sometimes forget how much of an expert they are. because they're so aligned in just running a business that they forget that the fact that they're really subject matter experts in their business. So what expertise is, it's the knowledge of your business, whether it's products or services, ways to convey your expertise. If you've done business with people before and have had a good engagement, ask them to write you a review or a testimonial. And even if you had someone who happens to be your cousin and they've purchased from you, have them write a testimonial. Have them write on behalf of your business about the good service that you provide. It's very important. Another example is really this, and what makes you strong as a business is also staying customer focused. Staying in tune to what the customer is looking for is very important. Are there any questions so far?
I have a question.
Yep.
So does this apply to 501c3s as well?
Well, if you're a 501c3, that means you're a nonprofit. So you are a organization that is focused towards you're not a for-profit business.
Right.
Right. However, so in a sense, you're looking for and I don't know your business or your name, but I would assume that you're looking for someone or organizations to come in and provide funding to help grow your nonprofit. Is that correct?
Correct. You got it. I'm
it.
Rachel, by the way. Sorry.
Rachel, a pleasure to speak with you today. So, hey, Rachel, there's nothing wrong with that. I would say that there are some tips here that you can kind of take from our conversation today, which really is, and if you look at it from what I'm really talking about this evening, it's about presentation. And although you may be a nonprofit and just starting, it doesn't mean that you can't put together a powerful presentation to impress others, investors, or other stakeholders, to really allow them and help them with the vision to understand your capabilities and capacity as a nonprofit. Does that help at all, Rachel?
It does. It helps a lot. Thank you so much.
And so, Rachel, let me ask you a question. How long has your nonprofit been in existence for?
So it's being revamped because it kind of took a turn to where the people who were running it had retired. Some folks passed away. And so it's just been sitting there. So it needs to be revived. I mean, it's there, but it just needs a whole new, not foundation, but it needs a whole new workup.
Got it.
For lack of better words, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense. Well, you know what? This is a good slide for you to take a look at, because this can be applied to really what you're doing as a nonprofit and even for-profit businesses as well. And so, one of the things that we all have to remember is that from a development standpoint, you have to, Rachel, identify and build key relationships within your organization. So if you're doing, it's very difficult to do something on your own. And so sometimes if you're trying to grow and get to the next level, you may have to be to the point where you have to identify partners. But even as a nonprofit, you still have to be able to explain what you do as a nonprofit, or even as a for-profit business, explain your products and services clearly and with confidence. You've got to be able to explain what you do, particularly as a business, and be able to express it clearly. And so a lot of small businesses don't understand what that means when it comes to explain your products and services clearly and with confidence. That means you don't use the word or the words you gotta know your business like it's the back of your hand. You got, when someone says, what do? You got to have a script and a speech that is almost inherently known for you as a small business owner. And with that particular script or speech is what connects you and will help you be able to explain your capacity and capabilities. Last but not least, it's really, it also comes down to really being flexible. Ask when you're meeting with large organizations, you have to also understand that it's not all about selling yourself. You also have to know how to ask questions. You have to know the right questions to ask.
So we have some questions in the chat.
Yep.
The first one is from Lamont. Does a letter from clients help as part of a business resume?
Absolutely. I would say absolutely. And so the only thing that I would say about a letter from a client is knowing when to present that letter from a previous client. So there's, if you're looking at if a large organization is giving you an opportunity, there's no need to present a particular letter saying that someone has had satisfactory service. But if you have a relationship, if you have engaged with that particular organization and you can connect with them, that particular letter can be kind of used as a added benefit to your overall capabilities and capacity. Now, one of the things is, and we can go back to a capability statement, but you can have a letter from an organization, but really that information should really be presented in your capability statement. And so we keep going back to the capability statement, which is the one-page document that a lot of people just don't know about in procurement and buying. That one-page document, your business resume, that one-page document helps convey your capabilities. And so in that business resume or capability statement, you can have a statement about a previous customer who you've done business with. That's where a lot of minority and diverse businesses fail, is that, they may have a lot of particular wins, but typically minority and diverse businesses have a hard time about patting themselves on the back, and also communicating their wins and their successes. So I also want to kind of get Kevin, are there any more questions?
Yes, there's a couple more.
Yep, go right ahead.
But I was getting ready to pull up a sample capability statement so people could see what it looks like. But let me go through a couple more questions.
Yep.
Now I have a question first. I want you to talk a little bit more about operational efficiencies. You mentioned that earlier. To me, it means that you understand how to be consistent in your delivery and your execution, right?
Yep.
But what else does that include?
Operational efficiency includes, and particularly, it's funny because COVID changed so many things up. And it's also changed what operational efficiency even looks like. And I would say what it looks like now is really overall engagement. And most small businesses, Kevin, as you know, are a one-person shop. And it's an aspirational business that is trying to get to the next level. And it is our job to help these businesses get to the next level. But operational efficiency is really thinking outside of the box, really understanding that, understanding that, okay, well, if I'm a business that places orders and I'm working a job or a 9 to 5, I can't work a 9 to 5 and be able to place orders every night. But if I strategically approach my business and communicate the times in which I'm able to place orders, maybe it's Thursday through Sunday, and understanding the operational efficiency through that standpoint, that allows me as a business owner more chance to succeed, because in a sense, I understand what my current bandwidth is, and I'm able to create a structure and a system that will allow me to respond to my customers. And one thing is that as business, where business owners have a hard time understanding and fall victim to all the time, is that we think, the customer is always right and we have to move with the speed of the customer. But however, if we provide the customer with the right amount of information to allow them to understand how our business is structured, most of the time they'll fall right in line with it. So a great example with that is with Amazon and Amazon Prime. Everyone on the face of the moon paid for Amazon Prime to deliver their products next day. When the pandemic hit, Amazon couldn't meet that criteria anymore, but they communicated. They communicated that they couldn't meet that criteria anymore, and no one stopped ordering from Amazon. We just understood. And Kevin, I hope that answers that particular question.
Yeah, it does. Let me hit a couple more real quick.
Yep.
This one, this is for me. Is there a class that will help get 501c3? The answer to that is yes. That's our nonprofit network, and that will be coming up soon. So just keep your ear open. That's from Jackie. So Jackie, you and I, we're due for a conversation. So let's make that happen soon. Next question.
And Rachel.
I'm a fashion designer. My business have 2 sections. 1, open a store focused on one-of-a-kind items. 2, open a school. And so I think I need to field that question as well, because it's not quite relevant to this topic. But I have to say, in that situation, it's very important that you have to pick one.
Right.
Especially when you're getting started. And that's not always easy, because we feel like we're capable of doing everything until we hit that brick wall. But we really have to think about, and this is where I think it's important to have people outside of yourself that you talk to help you figure out where's your strength, because you always have to lean on your strength in order to figure out how you're going to move forward. And I'd be the first one to tell you, there's a lot of different things, and we think about something as easy as, okay, I want to be able to sell ice water, right? But then you say, well, shoot, if I'm selling ice water, why can't I sell hot dogs? If I'm selling hot dogs, why can't I sell ice cream? And you find yourself getting spread out. And then when you have to lay out the money for all of these different products, you're coming up short somewhere.
Yep.
You have to think about where your strengths lie. Find that strength. You really have to exploit that to the nth degree. And then you use the success from that one to start building out other things. Believe it or not, you mentioned about Amazon. Amazon did not start out to be what it is today. It started out just being a distributor of used books.
Yep.
That was it. The other stuff just came. So think about what your success is going to be built on. Now, I'm going to mention this one because I think it's important, because you talked about unique businesses. This isn't a question, but she says her business is unique because she's the only registered cosmetology and barber apprenticeship school. And we are a learn while you earn business, which I think is good. But how it relates to what we're talking about today is finding out how that how does that relate to what your market is going to be? How do you push to your strengths? Who's your target market? If it's anchor institutions or large businesses, then what are you selling them?
And,
If
and,
it
and
were
Kevin, yep, and Kevin,
Can I?
that's
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
no, Kevin, I was saying that's a great point, because particularly, you're right. Her question is very valid in regards to what direction, how does she go about with that type of business concept? How does she go about identifying her customer base? And so I would love to hear from the person that asked that particular question.
Hi, my name is Patricia. I asked the question.
Hi, Patricia.
How are you?
I'm doing very
thank
well.
you. Thank you for, I'm glad to be here. My business is what you guys did read is a cosmetology. It's a registered apprenticeship program. Our state had expanded the apprenticeships to non-traditional apprenticeships. And so I acquired this to register this business in 2017. And so my problem is that I'm trying to scale it up, and also partner with I am partnered with some salons and barbershops, but I wanted to be able to partner with bigger companies so I can bring in more students to help just basically fill a gap in terms of jobs, because we are While You Learn program. So while the students go into school, they earn money while they're getting their license for cosmetology or barbering.
And so it sounds like that you are in a unique space in which you're really seeking the right partner to help your organization grow from scale and capacity.
Yes.
And so and with that, I ask you, how are you in areas like your website? How are you in areas as like your marketing collateral? All these type of documents are key pieces of information, in addition to the most important element of business, which is being in the right place at the right time. And so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
In terms of marketing, I just do, which I do it myself. What you spoke about earlier, yes, it's a one-man show. I'm the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. So that and that in itself is very challenging. So my first thing that I am going to do, and I'm in the process of doing, is hiring an administrative person, because I definitely need that help.
And one of the things that, so by hiring an administrative person, that may be a good decision. One of the things that I do want to make sure that you pay attention to throughout this presentation, and you'll see throughout this whole presentation that I talk about today, is really making sure you have the right business collateral. So, if you ever went to a job interview, the one thing that they always ask for is your resume. And so having the right business collateral helps your business be perceived or your 501c, your nonprofit, be perceived in a different capacity. So if there's anything that you can kind of gain from today's conversation, although you're not necessarily a small business owner, you're a nonprofit owner, but understanding the importance of business collateral and what it looks like, and you only get one chance to make a first impression.
Okay, I apologize. I think I missed something along the way. Are we still talking about the cosmetology apprenticeship program?
Kevin, we were just talking about, I think her name was Rachel.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I just wanted to, because the next thing she asked, Patricia asked, is how, and this is because I felt like this was a good question. She'd like to know how she can find partners as possible for possible investors. And I want to kind of lead that conversation with, that's what this is all about. It's about understanding how to build your capability statement. It's about positioning your business and showing the uniqueness of it, showing your strengths. It's about putting all those pieces together so you understand how to present your business to a potential investor or a potential buyer or a potential customer.
Yeah, and Kevin, one of the things I want to highlight is that you can sit next to an investor, as you're going on vacation. You can sit on a plane and sit next to someone who would be a willing investor. But if you don't have the right collateral together, they're never going to take you seriously, Kevin.
Correct. Absolutely.
So in a sense, you have to crawl before you walk.
Absolutely. Okay, and with nonprofit, using volunteers make it easier for payroll expenses. I'm going to start that by saying that's a really touchy situation.
I'm not answering that question because
I knew it was getting quiet, because I'm gonna take the first step.
That was me. I thought it would be a little icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
Listen. I don't want the IRS coming. I don't want the IRS knocking on my door saying, "Hey, you didn't told X, Y, and Z." Nope. You're not getting me caught up in that. Nope.
Right.
Okay.
Listen, it's the internship. What I do, can I say something?
Go right ahead.
There's an internship. I have a small business program that I run with my with Ibrahim Youth Scholars. So I hire interns, non-paid, as a training program to train them how to be, because I had an executive assistant, and that was for Patricia, because she was looking to hire somebody. And sometimes, like you were saying with collateral, you don't have all the money for payroll. So that's what I was saying. So hire them as an intern. It was like a 6-month internship, non-paid. Then it became paid. And that's written in the contract for the internship that I offered. They get a laptop from a small business laptop to help them, be mobile, and they get the small business program. So they get benefits from the internship before they get paid, but they eventually get paid.
That's still going to be touchy, because in most situations, whether they're volunteers or interns, it used to be a time where you can bring those people on and not have
That is correct.
Have paid. But you have to have a plan that talks about how they're getting some type of remuneration, some type of pay or benefit from that service that they're giving you. It could be free meals, it could be, free room and board, whatever the case may be. But usually you can get by with a very nominal pay to bring these people on. You can have a period of a training period that leads to the pay. But even then, you have to, that training period has to be really short. You can't say, okay, well, we'll do this for a year before we pay you. So that's a touchy thing. I would absolutely run that by your accountant or lawyer before.
I already had to get that approved. It's a program that we actually run. So they do have benefits. Like I said, we were donated laptops, Chrome laptops, so they get the laptop. For that, they also, like in events, they can do small business and all things. Like there's a benefit within the programming up until that's like you said, the training, and then they go into paid, just like when you're at a job. So but it's just an intern, unpaid into paid. So it is touchy, but I was willing to go into it because people were willing to volunteer because they believed in my company, but I wanted to make sure that they were going to get something out of it before, those PPP loans came out and everything. Because I did get those, but I was forgiven, and I paid my staff with those because they were able to be paid. But they were forgiven. I thought it was fake. It was really forgiven for those PPP loans and all those things. But before those came out, things were, like you said, the one-stop shop.
So let me get to Marlene. How can you guys help me? So tell me, Marlene, tell me about your business. What do you think you need help with?
Hey, this is Marlene. Well, I'm a fashion designer, and I've been doing that for since 2017. And I have kind of a scattered customer base, and most of my sale was during the quarantine, making masks. But I still do custom dresses and all that. My goal is really to open a store
Mm-hmm.
And I really need to know, like, because it's Rachel Honor that told me about your program and told me to sign up, that you guys might be like a help for me. So technically, I really don't know where to go, how to go by what I'm doing. I know exactly what I do, and I know my strength and my weakness in what I do. But beside that, how to get like loan, grants, find investors, all of that, like that's where I'm really lost at.
Well, Marlene, I can help answer your question in this capacity here. And for one, actually, I think your question is really phenomenal because it really talks about something very, very important, which is how do you, as a small business, get to the next level? And it sounds like you had some success during the pandemic with you had mentioned with masks, and but however, you know, like you said, you're trying to open up a storefront. Now, my question to you is, I don't know your financial backing, but what I do know is that how efficient are you in running your business? And when I say that is that if you're looking to open up a store, and most business owners, when they open up a store, they're not taking out money out of their pocket. They're taking it from a bank, or they're taking some type of loan to be able to kind of help with their infrastructure. So my question to you is, you know, during this whole process, have you been really sufficient in maintaining your books and structure in regards to help get capital to help yourself get to the next level?
I mean, everything goes from my pocket.
Got it.
Yeah, everything goes to my pocket. And when I get like a client, like last time I did like 2,000 masks for a school, and I took the money from what they were supposed to pay me to buy the fabric and all that. So everything that I have to make come from my pocket, basically.
Got it. And so you should, you know, be able to produce, in a sense, if you're looking to open up a storefront, there's some programs that we even have here at Drexel and other organizations within the city of Philadelphia that we have from a storefront capacity. But my question to you still is that, you know, where are you at with your business from a sales perspective? And are you really at that particular level where it's time to open up a storefront? And if you are, have you really been managing your books and your finances to be able to help you if you need to be able to borrow from a bank?
Manage my finance, that second question, I will say, not really, since everything that I make, like I have right now I just got a 9 to 5, 8 to 5 job just to help me, because like I say, buying fabric, buying supplies and all that come out of my pocket.
Yep.
If I have what it takes to open a storefront, yes, because I have, during the quarantine, I just been going crazy creating, like bags, shoes, and everything. So I have so many things that I can put like in a store. I have so many things that I can sell, basically. The only thing is getting the people to know about what I do. And that's why I think that a storefront is really going to help me.
Well, Marlene, I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
On the slide that I just put out there, what is the second row? It says your company's what matters.
You say
underneath a D&B risk assessment, what does it say?
You're talking about the SSI?
No. Underneath, right underneath of D&B risk assessment, what does it say?
It say your company rating matter.
Say it again.
Your company ratings matter.
Say it one more time.
Your company rating matter.
It does. So just like when you go buy a house,
Mm-hmm.
how you've been managing your finances in your business enables you to take advantage of a banking institution or take advantage of a set asides and programs. You have to, although it's difficult and it takes time, you have to be able to make sure that if you're getting revenue and from an accounting perspective, that you are tracking all those revenue, all those dollars within your business bank account. Without that, you serve yourself no justice, because all the hard work that you've done in a hard time, you'll see that you won't be able to call anyone for help, because they'll ask for, okay, well, let me see your business financials, yada, 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 yada. Let me see, 1 or 2 years. Oh, you have no activity. Oh, you haven't. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. So that is the real importance of maintaining. And when I say it's not difficult, it's spending 15 minutes once a month, 15 minutes, and going over your books, going over the transactions and sales you may have had as a business owner, and ensuring that those sales can be kind of tracked back into your bank account. The most difficult thing about being a business owner is that it's a transactional type of business. It's very fast paced, and it's very difficult for business owners to be able to account. And in a sense, a lot of business owners, the business will be running them. They won't be running the business, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
The business will be running you. You won't be running the business. And it comes down to what we talked about, which is infrastructure. And so it's something that I would say people of color have been challenged with. And it's something that is not passed on in our household or in some households as much as others, particularly for people of color. So we have to understand that when we start and when we decide to be entrepreneurs, that we can't just decide to jump into something. We have to do our homework and study, because there's elements of being an entrepreneur that we have not been experienced with.
So, okay, we're gonna have to move on because we got a bunch of questions piling up here.
Go right ahead.
Really good information, and this is why we have these sessions. So, let me touch on a couple real quick so we can go through this. One of the things is, one of the questions is when are we going to be talking about how to help people who have not started the business? And let me just say that some of the things that Allen has talked about today, he's talked about your capability statement. He's talked about how you make yourself unique and how you stand out. These are all very, very important things, and how you establish your business. These are the questions you do have to ask yourself. And so when you're in the beginning stages and you're starting to build out what your business strategy is going to be and what your business plan is going to be, these are questions you need to answer. So when we do these sessions, I want to encourage everybody that attends to make sure that you're paying attention to the topics, because we're going to have financial topics, we're going to have marketing topics, and we're going to have operational topics. And those are the 3 cornerstones of what you need to have in your business in order to be sustainable and then to succeed. So I'm going to do a shout out to my man, Lamont. He said the Be Smart program helped get his business to the next level.
Is that my man Lamont?
Yes, it is.
What's happening, Captain?
I'm here, and I'm here. I've been trying to get my grind on for 5 years. It took 5 years to get my business to where it needs to be.
There you go. Somebody else asked, what is a B rating in the DMV? Now, I'll be honest, I wish I could answer that. What I can tell you is, if you have an A rating, that means that all your bills are paid and that you have money in the bank. And that's what, when potential vendors are looking, potential buyers are looking at your company's rating, that's what they want to see. You have anything to add to that?
Now, Kev, I would say you're 100% correct in regards to what an A rating is. A B rating indicates that your score, that you have had some indication of either a late payment, whether it's within a certain time frame or not. But I have a section in my presentation that kind of breaks down what D&B, how it analyzes your particular business and the type of scores that organizations like a Drexel, a UPenn, or any corporation are looking for.
And then we have one from Alan John at Askham Restaurant. He wants to share his brief history of his business and his capacity to do business with Drexel. So I guess, John, you here?
Yeah, this is John from Axum Restaurant.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm
Talk
glad
to
to be on the chat with Drexel, and been having a lot of Drexel students coming here, having parties and all that stuff. But I never had direct business with Drexel, so I'm excited to be on this chat today. I'm established business since 2018. And been having success in 2018, 2019 until the pandemic came. But I never ever thought about having a business connection with Drexel as a whole. So when I saw this connection, I said I jumped on it first thing, because Drexel is a big international business. So I'm fully established, and I want to see how best I can, work with Drexel, in selling my products and my business as a minority small business enterprise.
Well, John,
right.
it's a pleasure to really meet you today, and I look forward to kind of learning more about your organization and your business and what you do. My contact information will be shared at the end of the presentation. I encourage you to reach out to me directly. My question to you, are you located in West Philadelphia? Where's your business located? Or
Right, West Philadelphia, closer to University City and Drexel University.
Got it. Yeah. So towards the end of this conversation or this presentation, my information will be shared, and I really encourage you. Please listen. I'm one of the people. If you reach out to me, I'm gonna get back to you.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. I'll reach out to you once I get the information. I'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
And let me just say, because Alan and I are always looking for catering companies and restaurants in the community that we can help build their business by, soliciting to the university and other businesses in our network. So it seems like we never have enough.
Yeah. And John, I do want to be completely transparent. It's not easy. It's not easy on our side. Right. In regards to at the same time, and I know Lamont is on here somewhere, because I heard he had joined, but he knows Drexel, we are not a perfect institution, and in regards to, it takes, building these connections is the most important part, right, and making sure that we stay connected, right, and that we as a university hold you accountable and you hold us accountable. And that is the only way that real magic happens when it comes to doing business. You have to hold each other accountable.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yes, man.
Can I ask a question?
We've been successful for almost 3 years until the pandemic came, and things went haywire. So you guys, all of you guys are on the panel right now on the link. We're having restaurant week right now, so you guys can come on and eat some grilled salmon and how you call this, snapper on the house. And I want to get to know you guys. So come on, it's right on 46 and Baltimore Avenue, so I can get to know you guys.
Well, John, it's across the street from Fiesta. It's across the street. It's on Baltimore Avenue, across the street from Fiesta.
No, we're on 46 30 Baltimore Avenue. It's like 2 blocks away from the train state, the trolley. So we like 3 blocks on University of Pennsylvania. It's 4630 Baltimore Avenue. And we're having restaurant week right now. So you guys come up and I will treat you guys. Just tell me you're on the panel and I will treat you guys.
Well, John, thank you so much. And, you know, I don't know if you know or not, but I have a weight problem. I can't wait to eat. So,
Yeah, no problem. Come on,
okay, so
come on, man. I'm waiting for you guys. Because of the lack of staff right now.
Lamont, I saw you. Yeah,
Hold on,
Lamont.
wait a minute.
Yeah, man.
There's a lack of staff right now in the country, right? We don't have workers. So we're supposed to open from Monday to Monday, but now we open from Thursday to Sunday because of lack of staff. So when you come on Thursday, we'll be here until Thursday to Sunday.
Where's your social media? And are you hiring for the community? So you
yeah.
can put it out there?
Yeah, everything is on social media. How you call it? YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, everything. We go to Axum, AKSUM. You see everything.
AK, put it in the.
So,
can you put it in the chat, please? I'm sorry.
all right, I'll do that.
Yep.
I'll do that for you.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, John, you know, I can't wait to eat at your restaurant, but you can't be hijacking my my session over here, man. You can't be hijacking my session over here.
I'm coming too. I'm hungry.
That's the first time I'm talking.
We're all hungry, John.
I've been listening for almost 40 minutes. I didn't talk. That's the first time I'm talking.
So, but you know what, guys? This, you know, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys and keep it real. I'm just a person that has the benefit to be able to see how large organizations buy stuff and what they're looking at to really be able to deal with vendors. And so here's another slide that I want y'all to take a look at. And this is the type of language that we need to understand as African Americans. And so you'll see 3 different types of phrases: RFI, RFQ, and RFP. And RFI is a request for information. So if you happen to engage with the university and they send you an email about, well, hey, listen, we want to put you in an RFI, that means that they want to ask you questions to clarify about what you can do in regards or clarification on the service or product that you offer. Then it comes down to a request for a quotation. This is when you're being looked at. So if you're in the mix and a university is looking about possibly doing business with you, they will issue out an RFQ, which is a process that they use to identify and select businesses for a certain product or services. So RFQ stands for request for a quotation or for a request for a quote. So even in an instance, let's say with John's business, Drexel may actually reach out to him and ask him for an RFQ, a quote for, let's say, some particular dinners. And then they may ask another business for a quote for some particular dinners. And they'll keep all of the factors the same: number of people, time, date, what they're expecting, but they'll ask for a quotation because they're looking for not just the best price, but the best overall price and service. And what we all want to be involved in is a request for proposal, which is the most formal process that Drexel uses to select businesses that it works with. And so if you have a service or product that you offer, and even when you engage with Drexel, if it's not me, if it's someone else within my organization or someone else within any other organization, if you have a business and if you're not asking about when is the next RFP coming up, you're doing something wrong. You're not asking for the business if you're not asking when is the next RFP coming, or when is the next RFQ is coming, or RFI is coming. Where I see a lot of small businesses making their mistake is that we don't ask the right questions. There is a local community business owner who happens to be on this call that really, and he knows who I'm talking about, or she knows who I'm talking about, but this particular person knows how to ask the right questions. Because the only way by asking the right questions is the only way you're going to get the right answers. And so understanding how we purchase as a university is key in regards to really being able to do business with us as an organization. Now, I want to get to this one last, I don't want to waste time because I saved the best for last. And this is what I want to share with all of you tonight, which is about certification. And so I don't know how many of you guys are certified as diverse businesses, but this is the new wave. And there are a lot of benefits to being certified as a diverse business. Whether you're minority owned, whether you're woman owned, whether you're a small business, whether you are a gay, lesbian, whether you're a veteran owned business, whatever type of business you are, you can be certified. And you will also see that you can also be certified by the Office of Economic Opportunity here in the city of Philadelphia. They will certify you as a diverse business. Now, some of you say, okay, that means I gotta submit some paperwork, I gotta do all this. Come on now, you give me something else to do. No, this is real. Where being certified helps you, or the benefits to certification, I can only speak from what I know. And so I come from a family-owned business, and that was a certified minority-owned business. And I can definitely speak on the access to opportunity. So once your business becomes certified, you are now backed by an entity, a third-party entity, whether it be the National Minority Supplier Development Council, whether it be by the Women's Business Economic National Council, whether it be by Philadelphia Office of Economic and Opportunity. But by being certified, you now have what I would call stakeholders that are behind you. And so let me break it down to you guys and give you the real deal. Once you become certified with the Philadelphia Office of Economic and Opportunity, the third-party agency that does all their certification happens to be the Enterprise Center. Now, you will see that that by being certified, depending on how well you communicate about the capabilities of your business and the relationships you build, you can build and utilize the Enterprise Center and other entities as a support system for your business. You also can use them from a standpoint of mentorship in regards to, I'm going through a challenge in my business. If you happen to need capital, that is another way to go ahead and reach out for capital. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about is overall advocacy. When I'm looking for businesses to work with, the first person one of the first people that I call are the OEO, the Enterprise Center. So that means that there's other people in my position at other universities, at other hospitals that operate in the same capacity, is that they will reach out to these third-party advocacy organizations like OEO, the Eastern Minority Supplier Development Council, for support and recommendations of the businesses to work with. So in a sense, by being certified and connecting yourself, and what I say is building relationships with some of the stakeholders like myself at these organizations that do the same thing that I do, but for them, and building relationships, in a sense, you are adding on to your sales force indirectly. But you got to do it. You got to do it strategically. So I would say that, and I didn't even know this until a few days ago, but in a recent survey, 2/3 of respondents said that they use certification agencies to find diverse suppliers. So in the wake of George Floyd and all of the civil unrest that has happened in the last year and a half, there has been a push on, and we're all aware of this, there has been a push on working with diverse businesses. Have you all felt the effect of it? Probably not, because it hasn't happened yet. But arming yourself with the right ammunition and arming yourselves with the right relationships to help your business succeed is important.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we got a couple of questions we're going to use to wrap this up. I want to first of all thank everybody for coming on tonight. We will have next month, we will have an awesome guy that's going to talk about how to pitch and present your business. You really like him. Do not miss it.